Yeah.
Okay, so after all this lovey-dovey, every woman also need a career.
Yeah.
Okay, so your work is a IT.
I'm in IT.
You're in IT.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that mean? Because as you after all these years, when people say IT, so what does that mean?
Well, IT. We just say computers. Like when we say IT, it's more of the easiest way for people who are not familiar with IT. It's just computers. So I started my career way back as a software developer. So if you're a software developer nowadays, what you can think it is those who, for example, make those apps that you use on the phone. I did also some form of project management. So that's basically running a project. For example, if I need to create an app for the phone, I'm the one managing that project, like estimating the cost, getting developers to do it, getting testers to do it. So I used to do that work as well. But right now, more of testing and QA, quality assurance, so which is actually testing products to make sure that they work as they are designed.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for quite a while. Like I've been in IT, and I think that's what makes me fortunate because I'm a graduate of computer science, and then I moved to Singapore with an IT job. And then in Singapore, that's when I started to realize my being a transgender. But I didn't transition. In Singapore, I transitioned within my group of friends, but not in work. But only when I came to Australia that I started to really transition, and then that I went into work as a woman. So it's like I'm fortunate that right now I'm in IT work. I'm going to my work as a woman. Upper management knows that I'm transgender.
How long you in the same? Are you?
This is my second company in Australia.
Okay.
So my first company in Australia, there's a funny story to that, but they thought at first that I was a woman.
Okay.
Like I didn't apply for the work as a woman, but they thought I was a woman.
Okay.
And then they found out 1 week later because of all the documents that I submitted, my passport. So kind of my boss corrected everything. Emms is actually not a woman. So
what?
Yeah.
You mean he talked to everyone?
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
That because just to correct the pronouns, and I allowed it. I actually felt bad looking back at it, but it's because at that time I needed a job.
So they call you he.
Yeah.
But you dress as her.
No.
You look like her.
I look like her. I was dressing up like a he.
Okay.
I was still wearing my slacks and my polo. But they thought when they hired me, I was a woman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's just that it was my first time to come here to Australia. I needed a job right away. I didn't want to be discriminated, so I held on to that job. And then we had to correct it. So after 1 week of being in the job, they started calling me back he. And then later on, during my transition in 2014,
in the same company,
I told my boss, I'm transitioning. I'm actually a transgender. He wasn't actually surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so, because I think they knew all along.
Yeah.
And then my boss was very accepting. And even now, when I left that company, all my office mates there, I haven't really talked to them about me being transgender, but they know because I have a friend who still works there, and in his wedding, I was one of the bridesmaids.
Okay.
So they saw my picture, like, oh, that's Emms. So they've already started calling me she. So now in the second company of mine.
Oh, before you go for the second company, all right?
Yeah.
You said something when after the boss announced that to correct everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You are he.
Yeah.
Not she. And you said you regret it.
Well,
what are you regretting?
Partly because I wasn't that I was caught off guard. I regret that I haven't really talked to him that time, because they've already started calling me she on my first week. So I could have already told him that I'm actually a trans. So can you continue just having that in the office?
Okay.
But for me, I was scared because I just got this job. I don't want to be discriminated. I don't want, like, I might lose this job. Like, who knows, after 3 months, after probationary period, they would say, you're not actually performing well, so we have to let you go. Then I lost my job. So,
and you just arrived in Australia as well.
and I just arrived in Australia. I didn't know the anti-discrimination laws yet at that time. So I allowed that to happen. If I could turn back time, I would have told my boss that I'm a transgender, so my documents still say male, but this is who I am. So
Okay.
yeah, but who knows? My fear would have happened.
So in those IT area, people are very accepting. This sounds like they are very accepting.
I think there's a bit of there will still be, I would say, IT, there's a big chance that they can be accepting.
Okay.
I don't know, it's probably because you might not be able to get talent quite easily, so that you'll have to retain talent. And at the same time, I think I'm in a way fortunate that
Okay.
I'm quite petite. I can pass up as a woman, so they won't have a problem. And then in a corporate setting, especially in IT, people in that kind of work would deal with a lot of people, with a lot of culture. So I think there's a high chance that they'd be more culturally open, to be more accepting.
But is it okay? How about gay people? Do you see a lot of gay or lesbian?
In my first company, no. In the company that I have, where I'm in right now, I believe one of our directors has a partner,
Okay.
like a gay partner, and then I think there are also a few other gay people there, and then probably a lesbian as well. But it's not like open, because
Okay.
it's a bit of a different culture. It's not. It's kind of an oldish culture, because the company is there's more older people there than millennials.
Okay.
Than young people, so you don't get those really outgoing,
Flamboyant.
flamboyant.
Yeah. And I think maybe because it could be those people are much more quiet type.
And it's just basically the culture. It's like, but I know the focus there is just work, because they
Okay.
hired me. They know that I'm transgender, but the other staff, they don't know, or
So-
at least I know that they don't know.
You mean the second company now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the same company, the things that you do differently is like you don't tell everyone what is your sexuality.
Yeah. So I'm not talking, because when I went in there, I wanted to work like already being myself, expressing my gender, and I didn't want it to be like a big thing that I have to go in there and talk about it. So I just want it to be like a normal, like just day-to-day normal. So, but having said that, being there for quite a while now, I've already started to establish some relationships, some friendships. So now the challenge is different, because when you start having good friendships and then you start talking, there will be some talks that I am not able to relate with. For example, women, when they talk about children or they talk about period, I can't say anything about it.
But
So-
are you is it make you worry?
Now, I'm not really worried, but it's more of like when these conversations come up, then since I haven't talked to them about me being transgender, they don't know that I'm transgender. So it's always in the back of my head.
Yes.
So you get what I mean?
I get what you mean. And you don't want to be actress.
Yeah, I'm not a best actress like
you. Don't want to also talk about period.
Yeah. So it's like
pregnancy. You don't want to be
had that question before. Like, what about you? How many children do you have? Oh my God, I look like a married woman. Yeah. So there are some difficulties.
So what do you answer when people ask you that?
Because I don't have children, so I said no, I don't have children. But when we talk about period, I just don't say anything.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you just say I hate children.
So
no. You say you have to be more diplomatic. You say so. I don't wish to have any children. I have a terrible childhood, but I love other people have children.
No, that's gonna be more even complicated. I'd rather shut up. So
okay.
So yeah. So I've been contemplating on telling those who I become friends with. So I think it will happen at some point. Like everyone there is quite nice and supportive.
Okay.
Like yeah.
Good.
Because it's also how you present yourself and how you are. It's not how you present yourself, but how you are in the office. Like if you treat people there with respect, they'll respect you in return.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So now you studying something very hot. You told me something very hot, which is this is not my area, right?
Yeah.
But we can talk about it because maybe it will be beneficial to our audience.
Sure.
Especially you are one of our first person talking about technology. Technology. Because most of our interview person is talking about beauty. So okay. So the study that you're doing right now. It's very hot cake,
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, I'm currently doing a course on user experience design.
Okay.
So,
the course called User Experience Design.
Design. Yeah. So, it's kind of there's a huge demand for this right now in the market, and there's not much talent to fill in the roles that are in demand right now. So basically it's still in IT.
Okay.
So user experience design, it's been there for a very long time since products have been developed. Because when you use a product, a user, a person will have some experience using it.
Yes.
So now that experience can be either bad or good. So right now in these modern times, like companies have to be competitive to beat out their competitors. So the way to it is basically to produce products that users will enjoy using, because when they enjoy using that, they will keep going back to using that products, to buying those products. So it's very important. Like I'll just ask you, for example, a simple question like a door.
A door.
If a door has a handle that's like that, how do you think you are going to open it?
I'm gonna pull it.
Yeah, you're gonna pull it, right? Like
Yes.
it makes sense you're gonna pull it. But some doors have that handle, but when you pull it, it doesn't open because you need to push it.
Okay.
That's a bad design.
Okay.
So and then you say to yourself, how do you feel when you? Let me ask you. So when you find out that you're going to pull it, but you need to push it, how would you feel?
Okay, not too bad.
Not too bad. Some people will feel stupid.
Yeah.
I would feel stupid. I was stupid. I should have pushed it.
Yeah.
But it's not actually your fault. It's the fault of the design.
Yes.
So now that's just a very simple example. When we go into digital products, like all those apps that we have on our phone, like there are so many apps that are so frustrating that you use that you don't know how to use them.
Yes.
Where do I go next? That's a very bad design.
Yeah.
But those apps, for example, that are so easy to use, Shazam, for example, is so easy to use.
Yes.
That's a very good example of a good user experience.
And amazing.
Yes. So that's what I'm interested in right now. So basically designing products according to what user will give a user a good experience.
Okay. So why is so hard, Kate?
It's hot because right now it's becoming a discipline. So it's unlike before where the term user experience design was only started in the 90s.
Okay.
But even before that, it already existed. But there's just no proper discipline,
Okay.
proper process. So right now, there's already some proper processes ongoing being made, and people are starting to discover how to do things better. So it's becoming hot because companies right now have started to recognize that for them to stay competitive and beat their competition, their products should be something that is very, very, how would I say?
User friendly?
Yeah, not just user friendly, but very
Effective?
attractive
Okay.
to people. And when I say attractive, it's not just how it looks. That when they use it, they're easy
The
to
functioning.
use. The functionality, it's easy to use. The
Okay.
people will keep going back to that.
So for your area of the job, it's quite important more than design because it must have to, because you have the principle, right? So if I want to design something, I have to base on your principle, like the rule that you already research. Is that right?
Well, there are many ways to go about in designing a product. So the very first steps, I guess one of the first steps to do is actually to do some research.
Okay.
Do some interviews, like find out what are the problems of people that people face in, for example, in using a product.
Okay.
So by identifying their problems, then you can start correcting those problems. So now, because now you are focused on the user,
Okay.
so that's how it is.
So after you study this course,
Okay, all right.
after you study this now, what can you tell about our audience who are interested at this course?
I'm still doing it, so
Is it worth studying? Is it interesting? Boring?
yes, it is. Well, like everything else, like every career, not everyone will like it because
Okay.
they will have other interests. For example, I can't imagine myself doing some accounting work.
Okay.
So I'd rather do this kind of work. So this will not be for everyone, but for those who are looking into going into a career in IT or something that's has a cross between psychology, sociology, and IT, user experience design is a course that's,
Okay.
and it's a very hot career right now because
Wow.
there's a lot of demand.
Okay.
Mm.
Good pay?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's good pay.
Okay.
I think
That's
yeah.
part of very important
Yeah.
question. Okay, we're going to talk.
It's gonna be good pay because there's demand, there's
Okay.
no supply.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
So you're going to be the first batch of people.
No, not first. It's already been
Yeah, I know
going
what you mean.
on,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's still
Low supply.
yeah.
Okay. So after all of this,